Hello, I am Kimmo Tiilikainen, Director General of Geological Survey of Finland, GTK, and today I have an honor to interview Tumi Makgabo, broadcaster and founder of Africa Worldwide. So, Tumi, you have been leading moderator in Future Minerals Forum for several years. Like we did also this year, we met there. You have been interviewing ministers, CEOs of major mining companies, representatives from academia and NGOs. But now it's time that I can interview you. So, uh, having seen the Future Minerals Forum for several years, how it has developed and what's the purpose of the Future Mineral Forum today?
Kimmo, thank you so very much for inviting me to speak with you. I think it's been incredible to watch the growth of the Future Minerals Forum. My participation started in its second year of existence, and I think it's become quite an interesting place because, as you rightly pointed out, you have everybody attending, from ministers and policymakers to CEOs to business representatives who come and participate in the exhibition, and to people who are just new and entering the mining industry. So you literally have a very broad spectrum of participants. And I think that's one of the interesting things about the Future Minerals Forum, is that it provides a platform for a different kind of engagement. And one of the key intentions, as certainly I've understood it since my participation began, has been to, one, engager, but also to foster not just a sense of collaboration, but actual real collaboration in figuring out how one can foster perhaps more cooperation in that collaboration within the industry, but also to make the industry more sustainable, considering our broader dependency on minerals.
One very essential thing in the Future Minerals Forum is the ministerial roundtable, and I have had an honor to participate that event already. Also this year with my Finnish minister Ville Rydman, there were more than 80 countries present, more than 50 ministers, but besides of Finland, not very many ministerial level representatives from Europe. What do you think about this?
I mean, I think it's a pity. I think it is a genuine pity. I think if you just look at, without referring to geopolitics, but if you just look at where the minerals are currently being derived, where the biggest supply of minerals are in the world, and if you look at who is deriving and driving some of the technological advancement when it comes to extraction and minerals and the use thereof, it is clearly, a South and a North relationship that is important. So that is the one aspect. But in addition to that, and I think, many people would say, but, we want this clear separation between business and state. I think that is true from a political perspective, and from a policy development perspective, I agree that that is the case. However, in reality and in practice, governments or states make policy, make legislation, they make the rules of engagement which govern everybody, not just the regular citizenry, but the citizens which come in the form of corporations. So their laws and their rules govern those corporations, and in many ways affect what those corporations can and cannot do. So to me, it seems odd that you wouldn't have a better representation, particularly because many of these mining companies are based in the Northern Hemisphere. They're Canadian, they're American, they're European based. So one would think that there would be some kind of understanding or appreciation that the dialogue can happen without it necessarily compromising the other.
I think that I very much agree and understand you, and at least we are trying to build a South-North partnership. I'm in the middle of snow in Finland, and you are enjoying sunshine in South Africa at the moment. So what's your expectations for the next year? What will we see? What do you wish that we will see in Future Minerals Forum?
Well, I don't have a globe, so I can't tell you what the organizers are thinking at this point. But I think what is obvious when it comes to the Future Minerals Forum is that there's been a very deliberate path that they have taken. Very early on, I'd say the first two iterations of the forum was clearly about positioning. It was clearly about saying, here's an event, this is what it's about, this is where all those involved and engaged in this sector are gathering to talk about it. In 2024, we began to see this drive towards, okay, we've had conversations, we've gotten to know each other a little bit. How do we now start to be more focused and deliberate about those conversations and what we wish to achieve? And in 2025, it was really about delivering impact. How do we make sure that what we've been doing over the past 3 years is in fact impactful, and beginning to measure? And you will have seen that there have been numerous announcements about agreements, about findings in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, mineral findings, finding that there is in fact a lot of mineral wealth under the sands of Saudi Arabia. So I think for me, what happens now begins to be, one, looking at the industry in relation to the broader community around the impact, around its image even. I think that'll be one thing that's important, because that is sort of an underlying theme that we always hear about the mining sector and the image that it has. But I also think it's going to become a question of quantifying and looking more deeply at the impact that the industry has on society, on the environment, and also where we are on that target. There's going to be a lot of extraction required in order to achieve the green goals that the world has. And many are looking for the industry to reach those goals. And there remains some question around whether, in fact, the industry at this point is capacitated to reach those goals. So I think it could go anywhere, but it certainly is going to be about, less of the talking and the idealization or ideation, and more of the doing. How do we begin doing? Because the clock is ticking.
Okay, and we will see that. Anyway, the organizers are doing great work, and I just hope that we both have room in the next year's version as well.
I hope so.
Program.
I would like to go back. I certainly enjoy the forum, so I hope I get an invitation. It certainly is something that has been intriguing and interesting to watch, particularly when you look at the growth of the forum itself. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you there as well, Kimmo.
Thank you, and thank you for this interview.